Good Thursday night here. I'm meteorologist Ian Beck here. I want to give you a weather update, what we expect going across central Louisiana through the next couple of hours here across the board. Looking out right now from the Paragon Casino out in Avoyelles Parish. You can see the clear skies out there right now. It's a relatively sunny day in general. We're going to have relatively clear skies overnight tonight. So overall, very beautiful day across the region. Looking at our surface map, our cold front has moved through central Louisiana, which has brought our drier air in place. We're going to be a lot drier tomorrow in terms of our dew points than we were today. We were a lot drier today than we were yesterday, so kind of a downward trend there in terms of our dew points, and that will continue through the next couple of days. We'll be dealing with those drier conditions. Along with that, our surface map, we'll see, along with our surface map, our future cast, we're not going to see much in terms of rain as well. We'll get the northerly breeze there, bringing some drier conditions across the board, and those dry conditions will continue across central Louisiana for really the next foreseeable future. We're not going to see any rain for our Friday, which is good news for some of those Friday night football games, and that's good news for just any outdoor plans you got for your Friday and this weekend. We've got our new drought monitor update today as well, kind of similar to what we saw last week. Got those dry conditions still in Allen, Evangeline Parish, and southern portion of Rapides, Avoyelles Parish. We also got an extension of this dry condition in portions of Sabine and Vernon Parish out near Toledo Bend, and then up in Natchitoches Parish also got some dry conditions. The only real big change we see is now we have a moderate drought in southern St. Landry Parish down there and across our southern parishes, and a little bit more drought conditions worked their way into areas near New Orleans. Although this isn't a big issue, we did see the rain yesterday is not included on this drought monitor update, so we'll see by the next one if that rain yesterday made any dent in our drought conditions. But overall, though, nothing to be concerned about with our drought at the moment. Rain chances though over the next 7 days. Yesterday was likely the only rain we'll see over the last, really the next 7 days. We're going to be relatively dry. Tomorrow we're going to be relatively dry all the way through this weekend and start next week. Rain chances 0% across the board. No big changes in the region. Going out into the tropics, tropical storm Humberto still off in the central Atlantic. Moving very slowly northwest at 6 miles per hour. Not a very fast moving storm right there, but expected to rapidly intensify into a Category 3 hurricane by the time we get towards Sunday morning. This will be our third major hurricane of the year if it does reach Category 3 status, and also our third straight hurricane to become a major hurricane, which hasn't happened since 1935. So we've got some little bit of a history there with this tropical season. But Humberto is not supposed to make any land impacts, but could cause some issues down the line, though, across the East Coast, given its track at the moment. But nothing for us to be concerned about here in Louisiana. It's likely it already became a hurricane at the next advisory. It looks very good on satellite at the moment. Other areas we are watching into the tropics, we had Hurricane Gabriella not too long ago, but now Hurricane Gabriella became post-tropical as it moves off towards Europe, no longer a tropical system. And we got our one other area we are watching just to the north there of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Going to move into the Bahamas and likely going to be developing into a tropical system by this weekend. Our next name of source is Imelda. The dreaded I name for every hurricane season, will be working its way towards the Carolinas. Neither of these areas I mentioned pose a threat to Louisiana, but something for us to watch though out in the tropics. Invest 94L, which is that area we are watching. Winds right now 30 miles per hour, kind of a broad area tropical wave, moved over some of the very high mountains of the Dominican Republic, which can cause really can tear up some of these storms. So it's likely going to take a little bit of a day or so to really develop a low-level center for it to develop into a tropical system. But right now, the best area for that to develop is just to the north of Haiti, there where that little L is stamped. We'll likely keep an eye on this area as we go through the next couple of days. Along with that, though, the spaghetti plots for this area, it's kind of a couple different paths it could take. It's got a pretty good consensus. It moves it through the Bahamas, likely as a strengthening tropical storm. And by the time it gets north of the Bahamas, it either gets pulled out to sea thanks to Humberto, or if it doesn't get pulled out to sea, it will likely get pulled into the Carolinas and Georgia and face that upper level low that brought our cold front here in Louisiana. It's kind of be stationed over the Carolinas, so it's going to kind of pull that future tropical system. If it moves quick enough out of Humberto's reach, then it'll pull it into the Carolinas. If Humberto's a little bit quicker, it'll pull this area away from the Carolinas. So a couple areas, a couple tracks it could take. It would make it a very tricky forecast for the East Coast, but none of those tracks bring it into the Gulf or towards Louisiana. So nothing for us to be concerned about. We will be watching it, though, as we do for all tropical systems in the Atlantic Basin. For us, though, we get to enjoy our nice fall-like weather thanks to that cold front. Going to be in those mid-60s overnight tonight, in the low 80s by noon tomorrow. Even highs in general, going to be or lows in general, I should say, going to be very beautiful tonight. Going to be in those low and mid-60s across the board, right where we should be this time of year. Average is 64. We're going to be around that 64-degree mark across all of central Louisiana. And tomorrow's forecast, 83 degrees. We're going to be at 83 by 3 p.m. 0% chance of rain across the board, along with mostly sunny conditions. Very beautiful day for your Friday. And then going into Friday afternoon, going to be in those low and mid 80s across the board. 83 in Alexandria, 85 up the road in Natchitoches. All of us, though, slightly below that average of 87 this time of year, but I mean, very nice day in general. Over the next 7 days, our highs continue to be pretty consistent across the board. A lot of that things that dry air in place. We're going to be in the mid 80s for Friday and this weekend. As we head towards beginning of next week, though, we'll be back up in the upper 80s there, 89 by Monday, and we stick around in the upper 80s thanks to some high pressure that will build in by Sunday, and that high pressure kind of sits over Louisiana. We'll also see a couple of tropical disturbances move their way across the eastern seaboard there. Those two ones we just talked about. And that upper level low will move its way back into Louisiana by next Saturday, which could bring some cooler temperatures by the end of next week. But for the beginning of middle of next week, though, we will be pretty warm out there, which is why the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook kind of looks like that. Above average temperatures expected for Louisiana over the next 6 to 10 days, and then over the next 8 to 14 days, kind of similar picture. Above average temperatures expected. That likely means we'll be in the upper 80s for the next 2 weeks here across the board, which isn't the worst case scenario, but it is on the warmer side for this time of year across Louisiana. Our available moisture, anywhere you see those blues and purples indicates dry air, and we got plenty of dry air to work with across the board, and that dry air sticks around in Louisiana. We'll see a little bit more moisture moving to the Carolinas thanks to that tropical disturbance, and some of that moisture from that tropical disturbance could make its way towards Louisiana by next Saturday and Sunday, which could bump up our rain chances a little bit by then. We're not going to have anything drastic, at least at the moment. We will be relatively dry over the next 7 days. So our next 7-day forecast, putting that all together for you. I mean, those mid 80s through this weekend and the start of next week. 86s across the board there on Saturday and Sunday. 89 on Monday. 89 does continue for you Wednesday and Thursday. 0% chance of rain starting on Saturday through the middle of next week. We continue those 80s through Friday and next weekend. We'll likely see our rain chances bump up, though, by next weekend thanks to some of that tropical moisture. But outside of that, though, pretty consistent forecast across the board. Even make a trip into the upper 50s tomorrow night and Saturday night. So definitely something you want to be aware of. But other than that, definitely enjoy your fall-like weather, or at least for Louisiana for this time of year. And make sure you get out to some of those Friday night football games, or just enjoy the nice weather in general this weekend. That's all I got for you with this weather update. Stay in tune for some of our shows. We'll keep you updated, though, of anything in the tropics. For the time being, though, nothing concerning for Louisiana.